60 local authority leaders have pledged an immediate drive to build thousands more council homes by exploiting new rules announced by Theresa May, it has emerged. Dozens of councils across the country, led by both Labour and the Tories, have signed an open letter vowing to use new powers to borrow more money to build a new generation of properties. It has led to hopes of the biggest council house building program since the 1970s. However, it leaves Philip Hammond with a major headache ahead of his budget later this month. The extra borrowing could add £1 billion to the deficit and further constrain his room for manoeuvre, as he already needs to find money to fund the NHS. Tory MPs also believe they have won a battle for help to be handed to benefit claimants set to lose out under universal credit. Reducing a popular jobs incentive, imposing a new digital services tax, and curbing pension tax relief are all being examined as ways to raise funds. Hammond is attempting to deal with a shortfall in the public finances set to hit about £100 billion over 5 years. A major chunk of the shortfall comes from measures favoured by Number 10 and imposed on the Chancellor, who had been keen to keep his budget as unspectacular as possible due to the uncertainty ahead created by the Brexit negotiations. Hammond is expected to press ahead with unilateral action on tech giants to raise some funds. A digital services tax will be designed to impose a levy on tech firms for the consumer data they collect and deploy. Treasury officials like the measure because they believe the companies will not be able to pass the tax on to consumers. The Chancellor also has his eye on cutting the employment allowance, introduced in 2014, and increased 2 years later. It gives companies a £3,000 discount off employers' national insurance. The scheme now costs about £2 billion a year. May announced this month that she would scrap the current cap on how much councils could borrow to build new homes. It followed years of campaigning by local authorities desperate to deal with a major shortage. While councils built more than 100,000 homes a year in the 1970s, they built fewer than 3,000 in 2016-17. The Prime Minister's surprising announcement to alter the cap on council borrowing for new housing stock, made at the Tory party conference, was designed to demonstrate that she still has a domestic agenda outside Brexit. She described the housing crisis as the biggest domestic policy challenge of our generation. The current borrowing cap was put in place in 2012. The 60 councils to commit to building, which include authorities in Newcastle, London, Cambridge, Ipswich, York, Stoke and Taunton, used the letter to urge the government to lift the cap as soon as possible. Right now, council leaders across the country are rolling up their sleeves and taking a fresh look at building programs and how they take this opportunity so people can have a decent home they can afford, they write. Allowing councils to invest in housing and the required infrastructure will generate revenues alongside wide-ranging benefits for society and the economy. It will allow councils to build homes which are of good quality and affordable, that drive growth and support our local small builders, that reduce homelessness, promote healthy communities and that support home ownership. The last time this country built a number of homes at the scale we need now, in the 1970s, councils built 40% of them. Our ambition is to hit those heights once more, and we want to get on with it now.